Now, if we think about stress from a personality standpoint, are there more people that are more prone to stress? Yes. Stress is not necessarily a character trait of someone, but it is something someone can inherit. And that's why I keep using the word perception, because when people perceive a stressor or something that makes them worried or anxious, they sometimes internalize it and it becomes them in their head, at least. So someone who's high strung, a high worrier, if we talk about personality measures, this is someone that's high on something called neuroticism, or emotionality is the more common term now. So someone who's high on emotionality is way more prone to stress because they internalize stress or things out of their control as something that's inherent just to just them. So instead of like, okay, I'm not ready for what's about to happen, I'm unprepared, this is because I just overall not a prepared person and I suck. But this is not the case sometimes. Sometimes you got to understand that things just not in your control and you aren't able to accommodate it. But basically, these people don't do that. They're worriers or anxious. They'll think that a dangerous storm is something they have to worry about, not because it's a dangerous storm, but because are they prepared enough? They can get all the supplies, they can get everything they need, all the resources, but still feel stressed and worried because they want to control, and you can't control Mother Nature, right? These are also people who, if they lose, they take it as a shot to their self. They think, oh, if I lost, it has to be because of me. Obviously, there is a level of control that you do play in any loss or victory, but when you get to the point where it's 100% one way or another, that's a problem. We have to be able to know that it's flexible how we're able to internalize things that happen to us. This is something called locus of control. Now, when we talk about locus of control in psychology, you think of like a spectrum. On one side is internal locus, on the other side it's external locus. You're always going to range on one side or the other because it's never 100% your control, but it's never 100% out of your control. So if you look at it as, okay, if I'm late for work, the internal side is, what time did you wake up? If you woke up at a very timely manner, an hour or so before you had to be to work, maybe it's not completely on you if you were late. Now let's look at the external. What was traffic like? If it was a traffic jam for 10 miles, stop and go, barely any movement, you can't do anything about that. Now, later on, you can take in consideration, okay, every Tuesday around this time, I know I have to be at work at this time. Maybe I should leave maybe another 30 minutes earlier because it's typically like this. Now, if it isn't, all good. You make it on time or you're a little bit early. But if it is, you accommodate it. And that's why people high on emotionality kind of overstress, because while they do take too much themselves internally, they don't think that, hey, I can overcome this. It's not just limited to, oh, it's me because I'm late, versus it's me, but I can accommodate myself and make provisions the best way I can. And it's kind of how you can talk about how stress can be utilized to your advantage.